Picture this. January 17th, 2021, Kennedy Space Center. A white hypercar built in a small Washington shop sits on the same runway that launched spacecraft. Inside, an American dentist named Larry Kaplan grips the wheel. The speedometer climbs 200, 230, 250, 279.7 miles per hour. Then he turns around and does it again. 286.1. Average, 282.9 miles per hour. Certified. Verified. Legitimate. 2 months earlier, this same car had been called a fraud. The SSC Tuatara. A name pulled from a New Zealand lizard known for being a living fossil, unchanged for millions of years. Ironic name for a car that was about to go through the most brutal public evolution in hypercar history. October 10th, 2020. A stretch of Nevada highway near Pahrump. SSC North America. A tiny outfit run by a guy named Jared Shelby, no relation to Carol, but clearly sharing the same DNA for speed, announced their Tuatara had just obliterated every speed record on the planet. 331.15 miles per hour peak. 316.11 average. The claim was staggering. The Bugatti Chiron had managed 304.77 in 2019. But that was one way only, and not even in production spec. The Koenigsegg Agera RS held the official production car record at 277.87 miles per hour from 2017. Set on a public road in Nevada, SSC was claiming they'd beaten Koenigsegg by nearly 40 miles per hour. The American underdog, a shop so small most people had never heard of them, just allegedly embarrassed the European hypercar establishment. Americans loved it. Finally, an American hypercar that could go toe-to-toe with the Europeans at their own game. Speed, engineering, prestige. The Tuatara was our answer to Bugatti, Koenigsegg, Pagani, built in Richland, Washington, population 61,000. But here's the thing about making extraordinary claims in the internet age. People check your math. And when they checked SSC's math, the numbers didn't add up. Not even close. October 19th, 2020, 9 days after the announcement. An analyst named Robert Mitchell did something brilliant. He used road markers visible in SSC's own video to calculate actual speed. The math was brutal. The Tuatara had reached somewhere between 225 and 280 miles per hour. Nowhere near 331. YouTuber Shmee150 and Engineering Explained amplified the findings. The analysis spread like wildfire. Then someone compared the Tuatara's Nevada run to Koenigsegg's 2017 Agera RS run. Same stretch of road, similar conditions. The Agera RS, the car SSC claimed to have destroyed, was visibly faster in the video. The American underdog story was collapsing in real time. October 28th. SSC admitted the video was substantially incorrect, blamed editing errors, syncing problems, mixed footage from different runs. But the damage was done. The internet had spoken. Fraud. Fake. Vaporware. The Tuatara went from hero to punchline in 18 days. October 30th. Duotron, the company SSC claimed had validated their data, publicly denied it. They said they'd provided equipment but never certified the 331 mile per hour claim. Now, SSC looked worse than incompetent. They looked dishonest. Let that marinate for a second. You're a tiny hypercar company trying to compete with Bugatti and Koenigsegg. You make the biggest speed claim in automotive history. And within 3 weeks, the entire internet proves you wrong using your own footage. But here's where the story gets interesting. Because most companies would have crawled into a hole and died. SSC did something different. They admitted defeat and tried again. July 21st, 2021. 9 months after the Nevada disaster, SSC released a statement. We did not reach 331 miles per hour, or even 301 miles per hour in October 2020. No excuses, no spin, just, we screwed up. And then they said something else. We're going to do it right this time. Independent verification, multiple GPS systems, certified technicians on site, no editing, no mixed footage, no claims we can't prove. January 17th, 2021. Kennedy Space Center in Florida. 2.3-mile runway, the same strip that supported space shuttle landings. SSC brought the Tuatara, a team of engineers, and Larry Kaplan, the dentist from Philadelphia who owned Tuatara number 001, not a professional driver, a customer. They also brought Racelogic, the company that makes V-Box, the gold standard for GPS-based speed measurement. Jim Lau, Racelogic's senior engineer, flew in personally. He installed a V-Box 3i 100 Hz GNSS system with an accuracy of plus or minus 0.06 miles per hour. He also brought backup systems, Life Racing GPS, 2 Garmin units, IMRAY data logging. If this run was going to be legitimate, it would be documented. 2:38 p.m. First run, northbound. Larry Kaplan, remember, a dentist, not a racing driver, punched it. The Tuatara's 5.9-liter twin-turbo flat-plane V8, exactly 360.8 cubic inches, reduced from an initial 6.9-liter design to allow higher redline, screamed to 8,800 RPM. Nelson Racing Engines had built this motor as a partnership with SSC, running E85 fuel. It was making 1,750 horsepower. The numbers started climbing: 100, 150, 200, 220. The Tuatara hit 244 miles per hour in just 1 mile from a standing start. One of the fastest recorded acceleration profiles ever measured for a road car: 260, 270, 279.7 miles per hour. Official. 3:28 p.m. 50 minutes later, same runway, opposite direction. The boost was running at approximately 24 psi on E85, delivering around 1,750 horsepower and 1,322 pound-feet of torque at 7,000 RPM. The Tuatara launched southbound. This time, the car accelerated from 274 to 286 miles per hour in 2.87 seconds. Tom Nelson from Nelson Racing Engines said it best. At 275 miles per hour, this car is accelerating at rates no other production car has demonstrated at those speeds. That's the real differentiator. Not just top speed, but sustained acceleration at velocities where physics says it should be impossible. The peak? 286.1 miles per hour. Official. Two-way average. 282.9 miles per hour. Beating Koenigsegg's Agera RS record of 277.87 by 5.03 miles per hour. And here's the critical difference. Koenigsegg set their record on a public road in Nevada. SSC did it on a closed runway at Kennedy Space Center. Measured and validated by Racelogic equipment, with official data signed by Jim Lau. Witnessed by independent analysts. Verified. The American underdog, humiliated in Nevada, had just set a legitimate, verified, unquestionable world record. Small Washington shop beats Swedish hypercar royalty. The redemption arc was complete. Right? Wrong. Because SSC wasn't done yet. May 14th, 2022. 16 months after the redemption run. Same Kennedy Space Center runway. Same Larry Kaplan. Same Racelogic validation. But this time with Mitchell Townsend, Racelogic's technician, and Robert Mitchell, the analyst who'd originally debunked the Nevada run, both on-site watching. Yes, the same Robert Mitchell who exposed the fraud was now there to witness the redemption. If you're going to set a record, bring your harshest critic to validate it. This wasn't a two-way average run. This was pure, one-way. Let's see what this thing can actually do. Velocity. Kaplan buried the throttle. The Tuatara screamed down the runway and hit 295.0 miles per hour. Peak speed, one direction, certified. Mitchell Townsend said it perfectly. No road car I've seen pulls like that through 5th, 6th, 7th gear. This wasn't just fast acceleration from a standstill. This was sustained pull at speeds where most hypercars are gasping for air. So how does a car from a tiny Washington shop humiliate European royalty? Let's talk engineering. The Tuatara uses a carbon fiber monocoque with aluminum crumple zones. Dry weight, 1,247 kilograms, 2,750 pounds. For comparison, a Bugatti Chiron weighs 4,418 pounds. The Tuatara is lighter by 1,668 pounds. Designer Jason Castriota, formerly of Pininfarina, the man behind the Ferrari 599 and Maserati birdcage, obsessed over aerodynamics. The result? A coefficient of drag of 0.279, reported by SSC after wind tunnel development, one of the lowest in hypercar history. Active Aero is designed to maintain a roughly 37-63 front-to-rear balance at extreme speeds. The car stays planted while the speedo climbs into impossible territory. The engine is a Nelson Racing Partnership masterpiece. 5.9-liter twin-turbo V8 with flat-plane crank design. Redline at 8,800 RPM. On 91 octane it makes 1,350 horsepower. On E85, 1,750 horses. There's even a non-street legal race variant making 2,200 horsepower. But that breaks every rule for road legality. Power goes through a Cyma 7-speed automated manual. Italian engineering. Shift times under 100 milliseconds in track mode. Final drive ratio was changed from 2.92 to 3.167 specifically for Kennedy Space Center's shorter runway. They engineered the gearing for the record attempt. That's commitment. 60 to 120 miles per hour, 2.5 seconds flat. Jared Shelby's tuner called him during dinner, shocked, saying, "I didn't think that was physically possible from a two-wheel drive car." But the V-Box was tracking 6 satellites. The data was legitimate. Physics met brute force and lost. Here's the beautiful irony. When the Tuatara launched, the base price was $1,625,000. Recent units with advanced aerodynamic packages? Roughly $1,900,000. A Bugatti Chiron starts at $3 million. The Tuatara delivers world record speed for roughly half the price of European exotics, and it was built in Washington State. SSC planned 100 road legal units plus 25 non-road legal variants. Larry Kaplan's car, number 001, the one that set the records? Customer car, not a special prototype, not a one-off. A production vehicle that someone bought, drove to Florida, and proceeded to humiliate hypercars costing twice as much. From fraud to record holder. From internet punchline to legitimate champion. The SSC Tuatara went through the most public humiliation in hypercar history and came back stronger. Nevada 2020 was a disaster, but Kennedy Space Center 2021 and 2022, those weren't just speed runs. They were a middle finger to everyone who said a small American shop couldn't compete with European giants. Jared Shelby and his team in Richland, Washington proved something important. You don't need a billion-dollar corporation to set world records. You need engineering excellence, brutal honesty when you screw up, and the determination to come back and do it right. The Tuatara's legacy isn't the 331-mile-per-hour lie. It's the 295-mile-per-hour truth. 295 miles per hour. Certified, witnessed, undeniable. The American hypercar that went from shame to glory in 16 months. This is Supercar Chronicles, where we celebrate engineering that makes physics cry. If you want more stories of underdogs beating giants, records being shattered, and redemption arcs that restore faith in speed, subscribe. Because next week, we're covering another hypercar that embarrassed the establishment. And trust me, you won't believe who built it.